It's still a bit weird that the Phantasma, a mastery rank 9 weapon, an actual amazing weapon after going back and reusing it, even though it only has a 3% crit chance, and a total of 275 ammo, these are the two biggest downsides to it. When it got primed, they increased the ammo to 33 and increased the crit chance to 11. And technically the multiplier has gone from 1.5 to 1.9. Thus concludes all of the changes apart from the skin that they made to this, but they did make it a mastery rank 14 weapon. It can be found on 4 relics. The Axii N9 holds the blueprint as the uncommon, the Lith P6 has the stock as the rare, the Meso K4 receiver is common, and the Meso P10 sees the barrel as a rare part. Of course, if you want to find out where these relics drop, you can just go to the codex, go to relics, and search for the weapon you are looking for, go to the relic that you are looking for, and it will show you where they drop from. This one, interestingly enough, Isolation Vault bounties tier 1, and I'm assuming they will be slightly leveled up, but it needs to be max to get the Phantasma part. After that, it's just 10 Orokin cells and 12 hours for this thing to actually build. Like, I'm going to wait 12 hours. Comparing the two, because obviously I'm using the Phantasma anyway, you can see the only difference is the ammo has gone up. It's a saving grace because the biggest problem with this is it burns through ammo quickly. Carrier is probably going to be a bonus, but the crit chance is what I'm looking forward to actually trying with this thing. This will probably need 2 or 3 former because even with a... I would ignore what's actually on that for now. I need to swap that round a little bit because magazine capacity I want, multi-shot I want. The weapon recoil is just a bonus, so I'm going to leave it as that for now, but including the crit chance mod with some multi-shot, obviously Hell's Chamber will go into a slot, but shrapnel shot on kill 99% crit damage. Yeah, I don't think I would ever recommend using that, because it's already got a 4.0 with primed ravage. So if we just stick the crit over here, it only goes to 20% crit. I think this thing needs to maintain its status, but hey, it's not like I have even used that Riven before, because if we look at the normal one, it's Revenantlessness. No. Did end up putting 4 former into it, so it now has 5 V's, a dash, and a dash over here. And the crit build, though all of these numbers did end up green, I kind of preferred it on the status chance more than anything else because it just seemed to do, well, more damage. Because the crit, yeah, it has the crit multiplier, and it literally, if you are running the Kavat, they can buff the crit, yes, it'll work. The rest of the time I would much rather run status and just basically swap out the Frigid Blast and Shell Shock, which combined together obviously make the magnetic damage that this thing had on it, because I was using it against Corpus, and just swap that over depending on what faction I am going up against. Rather than running this thing in crit, the crit increase is great. When the Kavat, if you are using the Kavat, can kick in that perk, it works wonders. But it does mean you need to be running the Smita Kavat in conjunction with this. I'm still in the hopes that maybe one day they will actually come out with a way, auras that buff crit / status, obviously 2 different mods. That would be great, but over its standard counterpart, yes, this thing actually has kind of huge improvements. Visually it looks better, it has more damage, it has more crit, it has more magazine, but it does the same basic damage. Not more damage, it's more ammo. And that was kind of I really want to say a letdown for this, unless you build it for crit. If you build it for crit, it is much better. But it is a status-based weapon at 22.2% status. Yes, they've increased the crit from 3% to 11%. Don't get me wrong here. I absolutely love the Phantasma Prime. Ooh. As I said last year, it was kind of a toss-up between the Aethirus Prime or the Phantasma Prime if I had to add one Prime. which one would have been the best prime of 2022? The Phantasma Prime was quite possibly the best prime of 2022. I'm aware it came out in October. I'd have no excuse for this, other than it's just been such a good weapon that rather than waste my time doing other things with it, I have been enjoying using it. It has been my main weapon since it was released in October. I have taken it off several times and always find my way back to it. I only started using the normal one because they were bringing out the Prime version. I thought, why did I put this thing away? And instantly realised I shouldn't have put this thing away. It's actually a really good primary weapon. And the Phantasma Prime, yeah, I can think of 50 different ways they could have made this weapon better. But at the same time, I can think of about 45 reasons that those 50 reasons would have also ruined it. So after using it, yes, I kind of agree the damage should have stayed where it was, which is what they did. They didn't increase the status. I wish the ammo hadn't been increased, or the magazine. Increasing the ammo maximum, I wish they'd increased the magazine size as well. Yes, the reload on this takes a fraction of a second. And if you're playing with a Wisp who just instantly increases your fire rate, you're reloading more than you're actually firing, because you can empty the magazine on these things insanely fast, which is why I would not recommend running a fire rate mod on this. Though increasing the fire rate increases the damage you do quicker. The DPS obviously goes up because it is shooting quicker, but the magazine of 11 is too small for fire rate. If it was 15, yes, definitely fire rate mods. If it was 20, wouldn't even second guess it. In case you don't know why, beam weapons, if you increase the fire rate of them, deal more damage quickly. It's just how they work. Phantasma Prime itself is, of course, well worth it over the normal one. Yes, it's only a handful of little things that have kind of changed over the standard one, and it all comes with nothing more than the ammo being increased and the crit chance. But even the crit chance going from 3 to 11, if you don't put crit mods on this, still increase its damage, but not all of the time. Obviously, going from 3% to 11% means you have a lot higher of a percentage of a chance of crit actually kicking in. And when it does, it doubles the damage nearly, which means this thing is doing a lot more damage. Building it for crit will help a lot, but build it for status, because it is still basically a status-based weapon, and the grenade, the secondary fire mode of this, yeah, it kind of needs the status to go over 100% and just be a status beast. This thing is amazing. Once I changed the Revenant for it. But it wasn't this amazing. The Aphira's Prime, definitely the surprise of the year. The Phantasma Prime, definitely the best Prime of the year. And with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.